signing on for today's lesson. And our quote for today is: Some things are just not worth it. Be sure you count the cost. So, have you ever had situations where there was something that you just really wanted and thought that you just really had to have? And you didn't necessarily think about how much it was going to cost you or what it was going to cost you in order to get it. Let's say maybe it's a promotion in your job that you just really, really want, and you're willing to do anything to get that promotion, and you get it. But once you get the promotion, you find that you're having to work so much that you don't have time to spend with your family. So it's costing you family time and it's costing you time with other people who are important in your life. Or perhaps it was some tangible object that you didn't necessarily need, but you just really wanted. And now you're having to work so much that you can't really enjoy the very thing you were working so hard to get. Or you're working so much that you're so stressed out that it's costing you your mental health and well being, that it's costing you your peace. Perhaps it's something where you had to compromise who you were, your sense of honor, your sense of dignity, self respect. That's a very high price to pay. That's a very high price to pay. And so I want to encourage us that whenever there's something that we feel the need to pursue, and that's not to say that we don't all want to be successful and be promoted and have nice things, that's fine. But ask yourself, are these things going to cost me more than what the value of them might be to me at the end of the day? And because sometimes the cost of that is just really not worth it. And I think of an experience that I had, I guess it's been about 4 years now. And for those of you who know my mom, yeah, she's quite the character. Um, and so, yes, Mom, I am getting ready to share a story about you. And we had come to Clarksville. We were getting ready to move back to Clarksville, and we were living in North Carolina. So we had come here so we'd come in secured housing and had to come back to town and meet with people to make sure like the internet was on because I work fully remote from home. Fully remote from home. I guess it's a fully remote. It is from home, or I guess it could be an office, but I work fully remote from home. And so we needed to make sure that the internet was working and all these things were in place. So we had come back for a long weekend. And because none of our furniture had been moved or transported because we hadn't moved yet, we had borrowed a couple of air mattresses from a friend of ours. So we were sleeping on the air mattresses while we were here. So we had gone to bed the second or third night, however many nights we had been here. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, all of these alarms start going off on our phone. And if you know anything about Clarksville, Clarksville has had a couple of pretty rough tornadoes. And so the alarm starts going off. I check the phone and it's a tornado warning. And it's a tornado warning for the area of town that we were living in at the time. So I wake mom up. I tell her the tornado alarms, warning alarms are going off. We need to get downstairs. We were moving into a split level. So we were in the main part of the house and needed to move down to the basement. So I tell her, let me grab the air mattress. We're going to go downstairs. We'll just kind of watch from down there, spend the rest of the night down there in the basement. So I move my mattress down. I come back up, to get her and bring her down. And so I go to, help her get up and take her downstairs. And she's like crawling around on the floor. I'm like, come on, mom, we got to get downstairs. She's like, wait, hold on. I'm like, what? And I'm thinking, like, what's going on? Mom, get up. We got to go downstairs. She's like, hold on. I can't find my ring. Like, what do you mean you can't find your ring? She's like, my ring. I dropped it and I can't find it. And I'm thinking, Mom, we are the only two people in the house. It's not like the ring bandit is going to come in and steal your ring. It's going to be here when we come back upstairs. If it's gone, it means the whole house is gone. And trust me, a little ring won't matter. And so finally, she gets up and we go downstairs and I get her mattress and bring it downstairs and we spend the rest of the night down there until things quiet down. Thankfully, praise God, we were spared from the tornado because obviously I'm still here. We were spared from the tornado. And so the next day, we get up and I go upstairs and I go, and of course, as soon as she wakes up, she's like, you got to go find my ring. Yes, Mom, I'm going to go and find your ring because that is definitely a priority. And so I go back upstairs and I go into the room where we had been sleeping, and I crawl around on the floor and I find her ring. And I just stop and I think in that moment, like, you were really crawling around on the floor in the midst of a tornado warning to find this ring. A ring. That's not worth us risking our lives. A ring? That would have been way too high of a cost. What if the tornado would have come through while we were still upstairs and ripped off the whole top part of the house? That would have been a very high price to pay over a ring. And sometimes the decisions that we make are like that ring. We think that it's worth it, or we pursue it or look for it. And in the end, it can end up costing us a whole lot more than what it was really worth. And so I want to encourage you to just think about the things in life that I go after, that I pursue. Is it really worth it? Am I paying too much, too high of a price? Or is it costing me too much, basically? And I think about, as I've talked to people about relationships and things like that, who they sometimes become in order to be in a relationship. That's not good, because you're not being true to who you are. You're paying too high of a price in order to be in that relationship. And then in the end, the relationship ends up not being what you wanted it to be anyway, because it's costing you your sense of self. It's costing you your sense of who you are, and you're not being true to yourself. And so ask yourself, are the things that I pursue, the things I go after, are they costing me too much? Is it worth the price I'm paying? Like I was thinking about, and I don't know if I said this earlier, if I was in a conversation with someone else, like let's say you are trying to, and if I said it already, just pretend I didn't, I am about to be 60. So it's like, again, if you're pursuing a promotion at work and you get the promotion, does it cost you your family time? Are you also stressed out because you're trying to keep up with this new position or whatever? Just make sure that the price it's costing you is a price that you're willing to pay, and that the cost is just not too high. So that's our lesson for today. Consider the cost, because some things are just not worth it. It's not worth losing your life over a ring. It's really not worth it. So that's a lesson. Give that some thought. I hope it's been helpful. Hashtag words of wisdom, whatever wisdom is. Let's try it again. Hashtag words of wisdom, because again, I'm not starting over, especially since I'm about to do my hashtags. Hashtag listen and learn. Hashtag life lessons. That's our lesson for today. Signing off.